everyone, I have been sent some lovely pictures from Agotapop. She sent me these for free so that I can show you them, so I'm going to do that, and I am going to colour one. So this is one of her new sets. She's got two new sets. I will be showing you the other set in a separate video, and these are called In the Mountains colouring page set. Sorry, I just wrote it down somewhere. So In the Mountains, so we've got a selection of really lovely little scenes. So she said to me when she sent them that she was going to do sort of mandalas, but they ended up just being sort of circle designs, and I have to say I really like a circle design. Somehow it feels less daunting when it's contained and it's not a whole A4 page for me. But when it overlaps the circle like these do, I think it looks rather pretty. So this one really caught my attention, and actually I'm going to be colouring this one at the end of the video, or at least starting to. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. So we've got a nice mountain scene with some lovely, quite simple trees. I like Agotapop's simplistic style. I mean, it's not dead simple, but it's not too detailed or too small, so it makes it just right for me. To be honest. And when you purchase these are available on Etsy. Of course you can choose what size to print them, so if this size is a bit big, this is an A4 size, you could always put 2 on a page, make it a little bit smaller, although some of the details on this one might be a bit small for that. Or you could even blow it up to A3, I would imagine, and do a larger size if that suits you, if you've got the facility to do that. So that is something I like about having a printout. So this is the first one. I'm not going to dwell on this one because I'm going to colour it in a minute, so you'll see it more. So this is the second one. You actually get 3. So they're fairly similar. As you can see, we've got mountains again and a little path again, like the other one, and a similar looking tree. But we've got a little cabin on this one with a waterfall, which is rather cute, and some flowers, lovely mushrooms, and a sort of pine coney. It looks a little bit autumnal to me with the strawberries and things. In fact, they all do, but that's fine. We'll just put it into shot. So that's that one. And then the final one, we've got more mushrooms on this one. We've got a sort of river, I think, here. That's what I'm interpreting it as. And the mountains are further forward, which is interesting. Acorns, pine cones again, and oak leaves. Lots of oak leaves. I love colouring oak leaves. And this sort of fir tree bits. So this one has got less human type items in it. It's much more natural. So that is the 3 different pictures that you get in this particular pack. And now with the PDFs, the idea is that you can download them, as you know, print them off as many times as you wish. Here is I've printed one off onto ivory card, which I'm going to now colour. So I'm going to start colouring while I'm still chattering. I've done this as a grey one. If you look at this, you can print them in either black or grey. See, this is the black on white, this is grey on ivory. I like it a little bit when the colour's a bit more muted. And I'm going to use my Prismacolor pencils, which is very rare for me. I'm just going to start with the trees. So I've got to grab my grass green, and I'm going to just start colouring away at these trees while I chatter. I haven't got my correct pencil sharpener with me, but never mind. So yes, you get the 3 pictures and you can print them off. The idea is that you don't share them because you just buy a copy for you to use, but you can print them off as many times for your own use as you like. So it means that if you, I'm just going to find my Prismacolor sharpener. I do have one in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. The idea is that if you wish, you can reprint them and do them lots of times. That's better. So that's rather good. You can also, I'm not leaning on anything, I think I'll be okay. You can also, you know, redo them, or you know, if it goes wrong, you haven't just got the one copy. I have a discount code as well, which she shared with me. It's in the description. So if you enter her Etsy shop using the code in the description, then that automatically puts the discount code into your cart. And you can buy any of her products, as far as I'm aware, and get the discount. It's 10% off. And I don't think it's a one use only or anything like that, so I think you can just keep reusing it. Now this paper is just a Ryman's ivory card for printers. This is not a colouring paper by any stretch. I just thought I'd try it out. I'm finding it a little bit of a struggle getting the colour even, but I think it'll be okay. And what I'm trying to do is just where the trees overlap, layering up the pencil a little more, making it a little bit darker, just to create a bit of texture in the tree. Now Agotapop has other lots of PDFs. I find her style of drawing very nice to colour, very similar to Johanna Basford in the sense that there's a lot of nature and the style is nice and clean without too many little details in it. I know Johanna sometimes does detail pictures, but what I mean by that is there's not lots of doodling over the items. So with some people like Kirby, Rizan or Melponomy Chatsapanagio too, you get lots of texture lines drawn onto the items, and although that can help in some ways, I find it a little bit off-putting. It's not my favourite way to colour, so I prefer something a little bit cleaner and you know, easier to see really. But it's all very personal, of course. Now I know Etsy is in trouble at the moment with sellers. It's been behaving a little bit badly by what they've done. They've been withholding money from sellers for a long time period and affecting their cash flow. It's been in the news in the UK at least. Some buyers have decided to boycott Etsy as a result. Now, that is okay if the seller sells elsewhere, and then you can buy from them somewhere else. But if the seller only sells on Etsy, then by boycotting Etsy, you're doing that seller out of some money. So for me, I wouldn't do that. I would maybe contact the seller and ask if you can buy it elsewhere from them if you don't want to go through Etsy. But because there was one seller who said they were going to stop, and I suggested they sold through Ko-fi instead, which is it's quite a different sort of platform, but it would facilitate a download sale, that sort of thing. I'm going to do this next tree the same. I'm just chattering and colouring. Now I have done some of Agata's pictures before. Usually her tinies I colour rather than the larger image. I have done one larger image but not on camera. I prefer usually colouring smaller images, but this one just caught my imagination, so I thought I would have a go at it. I'm not sure whether to do all of it on camera. It's going to take quite a while, so I just thought I'd make a start. And the good thing with this, of course, as well, with it being a PDF, is if you, for example, want to use watercolours, you can print onto watercolour paper. If you want to use markers, you can print onto a suitable paper that will take markers. I don't really know. Or you can print onto pastel paper and use pastel. You know, it's so many options rather than with a printed colouring book. Although I'm saying this, I don't ever buy downloads. I always prefer to buy books. That's more to do with keeping them all in one place, you know. But of course, I have seen someone recently, they bought a download book and then they bound it, you know, printed it and bound it up. So that's an option. So you can make your own colouring book, which is something I really ought to do. I don't have to bind them, but put them in a folder. These pencils aren't sitting particularly well on this paper, to be honest. I'm going to grab the peacock. No, I want the dark green. Actually, the peacock green might work. This peacock green. To just darken a few areas. Yeah, I'm still learning with Prismas. I just did a picture with them and I was so pleased with how it came out. But it was in a Hannah Carlson book, and of course her paper is just amazing. So maybe it was to do with that. I also used a blending pencil quite a bit, so it may have been that too. Oh, having a hot flush now. Nice. Supposed to be getting thunderstorms today again, but fortunately in the UK they're not usually too nasty. You don't really hear about too much happening. It's too nasty with thunderstorms. I think a blending pencil is going to help me. I've got a Prisma blending pencil here. I'm just scribbling it on a bit of paper because it seems to be red, which isn't, I don't want my tree going red. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so I don't know, my son says he's got to go out and buy ingredients for lasagna. He's making a lasagna tomorrow. He's very excited about it. He likes lasagna, hasn't had one for ages. So he needs to go and buy. I did say he could go on his own, but I don't know if I've got enough cash. Of course, I usually pay on a card. Don't carry a lot of cash these days. So I don't know if I've got enough. But anyway, we'll see what happens later. That's a lot better. I find sometimes Prisma can really benefit from a bit of a blend, and the Prisma blending pencil's actually very good. There we go. I think I won't do those trees over there. I will do some of these bits over here. I'm thinking these pines, we need a sort of sprucey green something. Even actually, maybe the kelp green might work. I need to sharpen it there. But it's quite fine, isn't it? These bits. Yeah, I think that works. Like a sort of, yeah. I'm just plain colouring this. So what, yeah, I liked particularly, I'm going to do all these and then I'll probably have to do a bit of the other green in between again because there's gapping where I haven't coloured all of it properly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of camping. I do like walks out in the countryside, but I don't want to camp. You know, it's just not my thing. I've never tried it and I've never fancied it. And people go, what about glamping? I'm like, what about hotel? I know camping is cheaper option and some people can't afford a hotel. And, you know, I'm just lucky that I would personally prefer to stay at home than go camping. But luckily I couldn't afford to go in a hotel if I want to, but I tend not to. We haven't had a holiday for years. I've got a few places I'd like to go, but the kids just aren't interested, so just not doing it yet. When they get a bit older and they've left home, we might, but just enjoy having them with us at the moment. So when I have my bit of time off, I might try and encourage them out of the house. It's a challenge. We'll see. Although actually, they came out with us at the weekend. We weren't too long. I think they were slightly disappointed that we didn't eat out. I'm a bit confused about what line's what here because I'm not looking at it closely enough. There we go. I ought to be wearing my magnifying glasses. I would see better. It's not that small, but I just can't see. I need an eye test. I really do. It's hard to see that bit in there. I'm just guessing. I've just drawn in a bit. I'm going to do the bit on this side as well, just while I've got this pencil out, because then I'll remember what colour it was. But yeah, even though I don't like camping, it doesn't mean I don't enjoy colouring in this sort of picture. It's still very cute. There we go. So this is just plain colouring. There's nothing too technical, and it's going down quite well actually, this colour. which is good. I'm not sure which is which. Ooh, I've got a line there. Is there something underneath? No, I don't know what's going on there. It might be the paper. It's not very expensive paper. As I said, I just grabbed it out because it was ivory. To try it. It can sometimes be a bit different to have a different colour. Okay, I'm going to do these trees now. So I'm grabbing back the grass green I was using. See, I don't really think this is a grass green colour. I don't think grass is bluey green. This is a slightly bluey green. But far be it for me to argue with Prismacolor, but for me it's a bit too bluey. But you know, I'm fussy about colours. Perhaps we all are. That's better. I just spend a bit more time going over it in a few layers. It's better. It's probably be true of all pencils, to be honest. I just pushed. I'm just making sure that you can still see it. Yeah. So I don't know whether to do all of this page, as I say, on camera, because not many of you may have this this download, but so it's not necessarily going to be a very useful video, but I just wanted to just show you a bit of it coloured, and I will finish it anyway and put it at the end, even if I don't colour it all. But it's yeah, it's a nice little set of pages. If you know, if you like camping or not. As I say, I don't like camping, but I like colouring this sort of page. And the others two in the series aren't camping based really, are they? There's a cabin. Now a cabin I could be doing with that, even if it was quite basic. Just the fact that you're inside, for me, makes a humongous difference. And I know you're sort of effectively inside if you're in a tent, but it doesn't give you a lot of protection, does it? You know, I'm definitely a townie, you know. I was, yeah, born in a town, near a town centre, not in the country, and that's what I'm used to. I'm used to having facilities close by. I like that, you know, knowing there's a shop, particularly a shop, but even like a hospital or a, yeah, that sort of thing close by is reassuring to me, you know. And yeah, just being near people as well, you know. So I've got another sort of mark there. I think it's this paper. Now with this, see, I'm going behind. I actually usually find it easier to do the foreground first, because then if I've missed any, well, I can sort of see it better somehow. But you can always go back over bits you've missed at the end once you've done the washing line. There's that one. As this is all the same colour, I don't need to worry about staying in the lines here. What we'll do is we'll put a dark outline around here so that it stands out a little bit. You could do the trees different colours, different shades of green, if you wanted them to sort of stand out from each other. You can see how different that looks to that with just the blending pencil and the second colour on it. It makes a big difference, I think. These are like Christmas trees, do you think? But they're just pines. But I've got that line running through. It's just the paper, I think. So what I'm doing is I'm not worrying about the lines and things at the moment, and we'll do that in a minute with our darker pencil, and then use the blender to bring it all together. I've been busy this morning because my boy's birthday's coming up. Firstly, they could get into their trust fund. They can't get the money out until their birthday, but they can sort of get their own login and make sure they're ready to get it out. So I got them doing that, and we were looking into other things, other finances. They need to set up a current account, maybe a student account. We found one where I think it was NatWest. If you put in £400, they give you £100. It's like, well, might as well, you know, do that. It's a bit of a hassle to set it up. It might take you half an hour or even longer. It's quite a faff, isn't it? But here's our peacock green for for going underneath. So yeah, once you set it, if you get your £100 and it's taking you half an hour, that's quite a good pay rate. £100 for half an hour's work. So I'm going to do that. We're also looking into a Lisa, or a lifetime ISA. Lisa? I don't know how you say it. Where if you put money in, the government match it and you can use it towards either retirement or buying a house. It's a bit tricky because we weren't sure whether it was a bit risky, because if you suddenly need the money, it's tied up, you know. But I decided that it might be wise for them just to open one anyway, and then I'm not going to worry about the trees overlapping at the minute. I'm just going to do the bit underneath, this sort of shadow underneath the lines that are drawn on first. I'm going to blend them, and then I'm going to do something about where they're in front of each other so it looks a bit more shadowy, and we'll do the same on the other one. Maybe I'm not making sense, but hopefully it'll make sense in the end. So yeah, it's thinking about, do you tie money up? So I sort of said, well, maybe just open one with £1 while they're on offer, because banks do have a habit of withdrawing accounts after a while, so you can't use them any longer. Stick £1 in, you've got not much to lose, and see what happens in the future. And also they need to set up a PayPal account so that they can do a tip jar on their channel. And I was suggesting maybe they set up a Ko-fi account as well, because it's an alternative way to pick up tips, but also sell things and things like that. And it's just a different way of people discovering you, really, because on Ko-fi people might just search for creators. Also, yeah, my son's driving licence came through today as well, so he needs to have a look at driving lessons too, but he hasn't done that yet. But after lunch, it's 11:30. I think after all the banking and sorting that out, he also looked at his bank account, saw how much money he's got, and decided whether to move any around or not. One of my boys has a lot of money in premium bonds because he wants to have the opportunity of winning a big prize. The other one is a bit more reserved in his opinions, and he has decided to, I'm going to use the dark green where they overlap to put in some shadow, particularly underneath, but maybe all around. And it should just help them to stand out, so you can see this one's in front of this one. It'll be more effective on this one. One of them wants to put money in premium bonds. Now, premium bonds are, it's like a savings account. You put your money in and you buy bonds, and the bonds are put in a drawer each month, and you have the chance of winning a selection of prizes, monetary prizes. There are £2 million prizes. There's, I think £250,000 or 100,000, I can't remember, and then lower prizes as well, lowest being £25. Now, of course, you could get an awful lot of money from this, but you could also not. So one of my boys is like, I'm going to try it because I'd like to win £1 million, whereas the other boy is like, I think I'll keep my money in an account that earns interest, guaranteed, and then I'll definitely get some money. So two different views, which is really interesting. One low risk, one high risk. So I was quite fascinated by that. Okay, I'm just going to look at that and see how it's coming along. Not bad. Should we do a little sunset sky to finish with, I think. Let's have a look at what have we got, what colours we've got with the Prisma. I think I'll start with the permanent red, right at the bottom here. Now with the sunset, just put down a fairly heavy layer to start with and then fade it. I've never done a sunset with Prismas, I don't think. Or am I lying? I don't think I have. Fade it a bit like that. Just all the way up. Fade, fade, fade. It's going all over the edge of the mountain. I'm not being very accurate because I can't reach. Then I'm going to do the pale vermilion. And they go right over what I've done already. Not too hard because you don't want to completely obscure it because some of these colours aren't very transparent. So you want to see that the bottom bit is darker. And take it up. Try to do a horizontal movement if you can. It's a bit tricky on the very edges. Gosh, it's pouring with rain. Yeah, so the risk factor is interesting. But we'll see what comes off. I mean, we have both. We're in a financial position where we can have spread our money a bit between two. They could do two, yeah. But they were a bit, yeah, a little bit worried about tying their money up too much. Their trust fund was tied up until they were 18, but that sort of made sense. But now they're thinking, you know, we might need money for all sorts of things. So I don't want it to be tied up. It all makes total sense. I think I might go, oh no, they're all in a very odd order, my pencils. I think I'm going to go to the cadmium orange hue next. I think that might work. I don't know why they're in such a strange order. I probably used a lot of them and didn't put them back properly. Well, it would be me. No one else is using them. Unless someone gets up in the middle of the night. I don't think so. So just gently put less here. Now we need a bit down here. Just sort of join up here. And the same here. There we go. And then we can use the yellow to orange now, I think. I think it will be enough of a progression. Sometimes if you do too much of a jump of colour, it can the blend can be a bit off. But I think this will work. I'm just going to sharpen it there. Okay. I've got a Prismacolor sharpener here. People say they're not very good. I have to say I prefer to use the dowel, but it's noisy and it's next door. That's two good reasons. Laziness. I'm feeling quite lazy today. Husband was up really early. I think it was 4 o'clock, and he had a meeting in a different town, so he had to get up early and travel to it to get there on time. So he likes 2 hours to get ready in the morning before he leaves. So he got up really early. My lead is wibbly wobbly, isn't it? So anyway, he obviously woke us all up unintentionally, and then he wanted to say goodbye to the boys and woke them up too, which much to their annoyance. I was awake by the time he left, but it's left us all feeling a bit tired. But I'm going to suggest the boys have some eggs for their lunch, which might give them some energy for the afternoon. Right, the last colour, oh, Spanish orange, no. Sunburst yellow. Yeah, I think that'll be the one. It's not very sharp. Oh, it's broken. Luckily the sharpener has 2 holes. Yeah, this sharpener is rubbish, isn't it? I don't usually break my Prismas that easily. I mean, I know they're a breakable pencil, but really, that's why I tend not to use them in videos, because I worry about them breaking. And apparently I'm justified in my worry, because that's exactly what they have done. So I'm just going over all of it with this. I want this to be my final layer of colour. It's very bitty. I don't know if that's... I think that's partly the paper. I know Prismas can do that a bit. Right, let's just sweep that off. We're nearly there. I just... yeah, I'm just going to finish this bit and then leave it because, as I said, I want a decent sharpener. I can't cope. I should go and have a little cry. At least it's not a luminance. Although Prismas aren't that cheap. There we go. Let's leave that there. So I'm going to leave it. I can't be doing with that. But there we are. I'm going to finish this with the Prismas, and I will put a copy of it. I'm not going to say for sure at the end of this video, because I might not have time to get it done, because I'd like to get this video out quite quickly. But I'm going to just remind you of the others as well. Let's come out a bit so you can see them all. You can see my pencils as well. But anyway, there they are. So that's our 3. So you've got your cabin, your camping, and your sort of just general mountain scene. So very pretty. These are just on copy paper, which is why it's so see-through. So that is those 3. And they, as I say, they come together as a package. So that's my little advert for Agotapop, her having gifted me these lovely pages. So thank you to her. And as I say, the discount code is in the description. So if you want anything of hers, and go and have a nosy, and you can pick them up for 10% off. So thank you for watching. As I say, look out, this completed page will be on my Facebook, Instagram. I might even, if I remember, stick it in the community page here on YouTube, you never know. I'll put it somewhere anyway. It'll be in my completed pages too. That's probably the best place to look for it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you have a super day, and look out for my next video of hers where I show you her tinies. She's got some hiking adventure tinies which are really pretty. So if you like smaller ones, that's one to see. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a super day and happy colouring.